On today's episode of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides, we'll talk about topics like the Trump administration recollecting on student loan debt, USA is finally banning food dyes from our food, Senator Warren admitting Joe Biden might not have been fully there, and another unhinged liberal telling us what they think. All that, much more, coming up on today's episode of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides, starting now.
The moment is here. This is our moment.
America, we are back, baby. Welcome to another episode of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides. This is episode 45. I already talked to you guys about my topics today. We're just going to dive right on into them. Our first topic, during the press briefing today, Caroline Leavitt announced that the USA and the U.S. government will be collecting student loan debt that has not been paid. If there are any previous due balances or any upcoming payments, make sure to go ahead and make them. Get up to date on your payments because they will be coming to collect. If you are not able to pay, the way federal loans work and things like that, they will either have to garnish from your wages, they will withhold from your taxes, Social Security, things of that nature. A lot of people are arguing against this because of the forgiveness of all the PPP loans, especially the fraudulent ones during COVID. That's a point that I partially do agree with. I don't even think they should have forgiven those in the first place, though. But I don't think student loans should be forgiven. Like Caroline Leavitt said in the press briefing, if you sign up for the loans, they are your responsibility, and loans don't just disappear. If, student loan forgiveness just means it goes on to the taxpayers and not onto you. So I don't think that people who didn't go to college or people who did pay their loans back already should have to, pay for everyone else's college. I don't think that's fair. I do think this will bring some reform in the way that student loans are given. Student loans are they're the only loans that anyone, any 18-year-old can sign up for. When an 18-year-old goes to get a car loan, they're not going to always get accepted. If they were to go get a mortgage, no way they would get accepted unless, rare circumstances. But student loans, they love to allow people to sign up for those, no problem. I think it's extremely misguided. I think the vast majority, I know for a fact, because statistics show, over a majority of kids who go to college either don't end up using their degrees, and over 40% don't even graduate. So I do agree with Charlie Kirk that college is and has become a scam for the most part. I do think there are exceptions depending on your major, school, things of that nature. But I don't think that college is as much of a necessity as it used to be. I think working in the trades now will honestly be one of the most profitable things. South Park even made an episode about that, and I know South Park's a joke TV show, but they made an episode where the plumbers became the billionaires because nobody knew how to do handiwork anymore. And right now, there's never been less plumbers in the United States than there's been right now. This isn't me encouraging all my viewers to go be plumbers, but my point is there's no shame with working with your hands, doing blue-collar work. It's a very honorable, skillful thing that will come in handy and something that pays extremely well, especially as we evolve into this time where people are extremely reliant on technology and don't know how to do just, physical labor around the house and just little things. But to get back onto the student loan thing a little bit, so the date that everything goes into effect is May 5th. Like I said, if you have anything previously due, I would definitely recommend paying these things. The Trump administration, the IRS, or whatever system they put to recollect this definitely will recollect, and they will get a full accounting for all the loans they did give out. I do want to go on to some of our next topics today. I want to show a video to you guys. This video it's a pretty crazy one. It's something we all knew. We all knew that Joe Biden was, not the Joe Biden of the 90s, of the early 2000s. Joe Biden was actually, an extremely quick, sharp, funny, almost slightly charismatic person in politics in the 90s. Even if I disagreed with a lot of the things he said politically, I still think that he was extremely sharp and very there, but we could see in his term as president that he wasn't anymore. And Democrat media and liberal media love to ignore this fact, make it seem like it wasn't a thing, when we all knew that we actually don't know who was running the country. I assume Obama or White House officials, but that should be transparent to the American people who's running the country, since the president seemed to be suffering from dementia. But I'm going to play this video for you guys of Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, one of Trump's favorite people, talking about how Biden, or her trying to still deny that Biden wasn't fully there, and you can see her slipping up a little bit. So I'll play this video for you guys. We'll talk about it right after.
Do you regret saying that President Biden had a mental acuity? He had a sharpness to him. You said that up until July of last year.
I said what I believe to be true.
And you think he was as sharp as you?
I said I had not seen decline. And I hadn't at that point.
You did not see any decline from 2024 Joe Biden to 2021 Joe Biden?
Not when I said that. You know, the thing is, he was sharp. He was on his feet. I saw him. Live event. I had meetings with him a couple of times.
Senator, on his feet is not praise. He can speak in sentences is not praise.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Look, the question is, what are we going to do now?
Okay.
Love how she says that, he's talking and walking around and at events. Like the interviewer said, that's not a praise. That, Elon Musk's 4-year-old son is talking and walking around the Oval Office. That's not he shouldn't be president because of it. That's a complete joke, her deflection of that. And, just look right here. Look at that face she makes right there. That's the face of someone who just knows how guilty they are, that they're about to lie. It's one of the most ridiculous lies that have been told to the American people, that Joe Biden was completely there, that he was sharper than ever. It's one of the most ridiculous things and one of the most ridiculous pieces of propaganda pushed on the American people. I am almost glad I got to live through and witness it, so I'll be able to continue to tell the story of what really happened versus the media's lies of it. But it's so concerning to know that we live in a time where propaganda is legal in the United States. Because of the Smith-Mundt Act that Obama repealed, propaganda has been legal in the United States. I think Trump should reverse that, make it illegal again. I have written the Trump administration about this. But I don't understand why propaganda is allowed in the United States, and that was one of the biggest pieces of propaganda pushed on the American people. It's devastating that that's where we are right now. I do want to go on to our last two topics. I have one more video to show you guys. This video is of just another unhinged liberal. This is nothing new on this show. I've been showing unhinged liberals as much as possible. Anytime I see a video of one on X or TikTok or whatever it is, I make sure to save the clip, post it here. So here's another one for you guys right now.
Y'all white people ain't fucking pissed enough for me. Y'all ain't mad enough for me. They are sending people to the camps now. If you've ever asked yourself what you would have done, now's the fucking time. Now's the fucking time. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Now's the fucking...
I wonder if that woman understands that the more delusional and crazy she looks, the less effective her messaging is. But to get to her messaging, she's trying to apply that the super prison in El Salvador is the equivalent to Auschwitz in Germany for what the Nazis did to the Jews. I have a lot of problems with this, starting with just the sole propaganda and fear-mongering fact of, the fact that one was a death camp for innocent people, and the other is a prison vastly consumed by MS-13 gang members and El Salvadorian citizens, and they're not murdering people. It's not a death camp. It's a prison. Yes, people die in there because it's a prison, and people die in prisons all across the world. Prisons generally are filled with murderers, especially that prison is specifically filled with a lot of murderers. But yeah, the fear-mongering propaganda by this woman, again, it's not that a lot of people are listening to her, but just the utter delusional nonsense she's spitting, and the fact that, she's yelling into a bullhorn in her own house, she's just a ridiculous person. This is the clown of the week today. I want to get on to one of our last topics, but I always love showing you guys a, delusional, outraged liberal whenever I do get the chance. One of our last topics is something I'm very excited for, something that I have been consistently calling for since before Trump has even got elected, something that West Virginia did already, and something that RFK pretty much ran on with Donald Trump. We are officially banning food dyes, artificial food dyes, in the United States. Come 2026, there's a plan in place to ban artificial food dyes from the food source of anything made in America. This is something that we can all celebrate. This has led to so many health problems, obesity, I could go. ADHD is one of the biggest ones too, like diabetes, obesity, carcinogens. There's just various things that are various health problems that happen from these food dyes, especially in younger individuals, younger boys specifically. And now that we finally have a president and a health secretary who's addressing this issue, thank you, RFK. Thank you, Donald Trump, for this. This is something that generations of Americans will continue to thank you for the future. I'm James Pascalides. This is episode 45 of America Unfiltered. I'm signing off today. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Thank you. On January 20th, President Donald Trump signed Executive Order 14172, naming the body of water off of Southwest Florida the Gulf of America. Now we're bringing the Gulf of America right to your door. If you're looking to show your patriotism and rep the Gulf of America, go on madeInswiffle.com to get your Gulf of America gear. Hats for $15, shirts for $20, and koozies are just $5. It's simple, affordable, and made right here in America. MadeInswiffle.com. Get all your Gulf of America gear shipped right to your door anywhere in the USA.